Relationships. They're messy, they're complicated, and a lot of times they're exhausting, right? But they're also one of life's greatest gifts to us. Why? Because they meet one of our basic human needs, the need for connection and love. But what if I told you that relationships don't usually fail because of one big mistake? They fail quietly. They fail mistake by mistake, moment by moment, until one day you look at the person next to you and think, when did we become strangers? Hello and welcome to With Samar Naim, where I understand and respect that every journey and experience is unique, but we can always find some common ground to start with. And I don't have it all figured out, but let's figure this out together. Today, we're talking about relationships, or more specifically, the 6 mistakes that might be killing your relationship. The goal is to take what's good and make it better for both of you. Stay with me till the end because we're not just identifying the mistakes, we're also talking about what you can do to turn things around. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Let's get straight into it. Mistake number 1, treating communication like a checklist. Communication is supposed to be the lifeline of any relationship. But here's where many of us go wrong. We let it become mechanical and lifeless. Did you pay the bills? What's for dinner? Have you done this? When are you going to do that? When the majority of your conversations become mainly about chore lists and logistics, you're communicating to survive. You're not communicating to connect. When your communication becomes transactional, you lose the spark that keeps a relationship alive. And that's the first step towards disconnection. So, what can you do? Make sure your life is not dominated with checklist-based communication. Engage in curiosity-driven connection as well. You don't have to overthink it, you don't have to force it or to overdo it. You just need to bring it up when it feels natural. How was your day today? Anything special? I can see you're not okay. Is something on your mind or is something bothering you and do you feel like talking about it? Remember when you first met, how you truly were interested in each other's life, in each other's fears, dreams, and aspirations. These things aren't fixed, they evolve, just like we all do. So why do we stop checking on them? Here's my invite to you. Every now and again, bring it up, that interest, that curiosity, that genuine care. Go a bit deeper. If the sky is the limit, what's a dream you'd love to pursue? What's something you've been thinking about but you haven't shared yet? And let's not forget this. Communication should also be about the hard talks. This means holding each other accountable when needed and stopping them to say, you haven't been yourself lately, or just sitting down to address something big that affects both of your lives. Curiosity builds connection, but hard talks, they build trust and transparency, and a strong relationship needs both. If communication in your relationship is mainly based on survival mode, your words become background noise. So start connecting, bring back that melody, bring back that harmony. Mistake number 2, coexisting instead of truly living together. You are in a relationship, but are you really in it? You are under the same roof, but are you really together? This is the difference between coexisting and living together. Coexisting is about sharing a space. Living together is about sharing a life. Coexisting is being in the same room, but living together is feeling each other's presence. When you slip into the autopilot of familiarity and routine, you stop seeing each other and slowly the relationship becomes dull. So what can you do? Move from passive to active participation in your relationship. Make it an active decision to check with yourself. When was the last time I truly showed up for us? What's one small thing I can do today to remind my partner that they matter? See, love isn't static. It either grows or it withers. And staying passive in your relationship doesn't keep things steady. It slowly pulls you apart. So please stop coexisting and start living together. Mistake number 3, forgetting to be each other's safe space. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. It throws stress and difficult moments at you. It challenges your patience, your strength, and your love. And in those moments, the mistake we often make is to forget to be a safe space for each other. A safe space isn't about fixing each other's problems. It's about showing up without judgment. It's like saying, I'm here for you no matter what. Or, you don't need to have it all figured out now, but I'll stand by you while you do. Or, I trust you to handle this and I'll support you along the way. And it's also about reminding yourself that I can hold space for my partner without carrying their burden. And let me clarify, holding space for your partner isn't about excusing their misbehavior or mistreatment. That's a completely different conversation. If that's something you're struggling with, I've covered it in another video that you can check on my channel. This is about being there for them when they need your support, when the last thing they want is for you to judge them, to withdraw, or to try and fix them. Think about the last time someone truly heard you, without interrupting, without trying to offer you a solution. They just listened. How did that make you feel? That's what a safe space does. It creates a moment of refuge in a chaotic world. Listening with compassion is a gift of support. When you hold that space for your partner, you're saying, I've got you. And that's what love looks like in action. Mistake number 4. Letting differences become dividers. Differences don't break relationships. Unspoken resentment or bitterness does. The mistake isn't in having disagreements. Disagreements are normal. It's in letting those disagreements become a block between you both. Sometimes the differences can be as simple as one of you processes emotions slowly while the other needs immediate solution. One of you sees a conflict and wants to sit with it while the other sees a conflict and wants to fix it. You see where the friction can arise? Instead of letting differences create distance, use them to grow closer. Acknowledge that they exist and try to navigate them together. It's like saying, your process matters as much as mine. It's okay for us to approach things differently. I still respect your process because we're on the same team, even when we don't see eye to eye. And when these differences are creating friction, honor each other's pace and perspective. My husband is a solution finder, for example. And I sometimes have to tell him, I know what you're saying makes sense, but I'm not there yet. Please give me time, and I truly appreciate your patience with me, because I know how much that irritates him. Conflict isn't the end of love. If handled with care, it's often the doorway to deeper understanding and trust. Mistake number 5, trying to change them instead of accepting them. Here is the bottom line. If you enter a relationship with the intention of fixing your partner, you are digging this relationship's grave. The ugly truth is, the more you try to change your partner, the more you lose sight of who they truly are. And that frustration, it's not just damaging to them, it's exhausting for you. And your brain doesn't help either. Have you heard of confirmation bias? It's the brain's way of finding evidence to confirm what you already think of. The more you focus on their flaws, the more flaws you'll see. And this is true in relationships and in life. So, what can you do? Try to pause and reflect. Am I seeing my partner for who they truly are or who I want them to be? How can I celebrate their strengths instead of fixating on their weaknesses or differences? Let me tell you this. The desire to change your partner often says more about you than about them. It's usually a reflection of your own discomfort with their differences. Remember, your role is not to change them. Your role is to support their growth while embracing their individuality. But if there is a fundamental difference that you can't live with, then you're probably in the wrong relationship. And it's time for you to start facing the hard truth. Mistake number 6, letting closeness fade when life gets busy. Life is hectic, we all know that. But when you let the busyness take over, closeness starts to fade. The connection you once had gets buried under the weight of schedules, responsibilities, and exhaustion. Here's the thing. Closeness doesn't happen by accident. It's built in the small moments. Even science agrees. Gestures like a hug or holding hands release oxytocin, the love hormone, which deepens connection and lowers stress. So, what can you do? Try to prioritize acts of connection, even if they're small. A hug before they leave for work, a quick text saying, "I miss you," or "thinking of you," sitting together for 5 minutes, even in silence, or just simply leaning on each other. Closeness isn't about grand gestures. It's about these quiet moments that remind you why you chose each other in the first place. It's easy to fall into patterns and habits that slowly erode the connection you once cherished. These mistakes might seem small at first, but over time, they can build walls instead of bridges, and love can start to feel like a distant memory. But you're not strangers, so why are you acting like ones? If your relationship has been going through some challenging times, hear me out. It's in your hands to revive it and to enrich it by choosing all the opportunities to reconnect and to rebuild and to say, "I still choose you." So, what's one thing you'll do today to bring your relationship back to life? Start there and watch how it grows. Thank you for sharing this space with me, and if you found this heartfelt and helpful, I appreciate your support in liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting. And always remember, you've got this. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.